My child, stop for a moment and listen to me. Do not rush past these words. Do not allow another distraction to pull your attention away, and do not tell yourself that you will come back to this later, because I am speaking to you about something you have already felt in your spirit, but have been trying to push aside. I am not speaking to you today as a distant voice that you can hear and forget. I am speaking to you as the one who has watched every step you have taken, the one who has seen every tear you wiped away before anyone could notice, the one who knows the decision you have been avoiding and the truth you have been afraid to face. My child, this is why you are here right now. I have allowed these words to cross your path because I want to reach you before you make a choice that you may later wish you had not made. I am not whispering this time. I'm warning you. I am calling your attention because there is something you must understand before you move any further. You have asked me for a sign. You have asked me for direction. You have asked me to show you which way to go. And now you must be willing to recognize that sometimes the answer does not come in the form you expected. Sometimes my answer comes as a warning. Sometimes my answer comes as an uncomfortable conviction. Sometimes my answer comes through a door that refuses to open, a relationship that suddenly changes, a plan that falls apart, a thought that keeps returning to your heart, or a deep feeling that tells you to stop before you go any further. Do not dismiss everything simply because it does not look dramatic. I have spoken to you before through quiet moments, through my word, through wisdom, through circumstances, and through the stirring of your heart. You called some of those moments coincidence. You called some of them bad timing. You told yourself that you would deal with them later. But my child, later has become the place where you have hidden too many decisions, and I am calling you out of that place now. Listen carefully to me because I do not want you to hear only the frightening part of what I am saying. I want you to hear my heart. I am not warning you because I want to see you afraid. I am warning you because I love you too much to watch you walk towards something that I have been trying to pull you away from. I am not exposing what needs to change so that I can change you. I am showing it to you because I want to free you. There are things you have been carrying that were never meant to follow you into your next season. There are habits you keep defending, wounds you keep touching, people you keep returning to, thoughts you keep feeding, and fears you keep obeying, even though deep inside you already know that I have been asking you to release them. You have been asking me to open a new door while standing with your hands full of the old one. You have been asking me for a breakthrough while holding tightly to the very thing that keeps you from moving forward. My child, I need you to understand this before you go any further. I will never ask you to release something simply to leave you empty. When I ask you to surrender something, I am making room for freedom. When I close something, I am not always rejecting you. Sometimes I am protecting you. Sometimes the closed door you cried over was the door I shut because I could see what was waiting on the other side. Sometimes what you called a loss was my mercy. Sometimes what you called delay was my preparation. Sometimes what you called silence was my protection. You did not understand it then, but I saw what you could not see. My beloved child, there is a reason this message feels different to you. There is a reason something inside you is saying, I need to listen to this. Do not ignore that moment. Do not immediately explain it away. Come closer and listen. I am asking you to examine your heart before you ask me to change your circumstances. And if these Bible-centered messages have encouraged your walk with Christ, we invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs biblical hope today. If this ministry has blessed your life, and you would like to help us continue sharing scripture-centered encouragement around the world, you can support the ministry through the link provided below. I am asking you to look at what you already know before you demand another sign. You have prayed for clarity, but sometimes clarity is not another revelation. Sometimes clarity is the courage to obey the truth I have already placed before you. You have prayed for the door to open, but perhaps I have been standing in front of the wrong door, telling you not to enter it. You have prayed for your breakthrough to arrive, but perhaps your breakthrough begins with your willingness to stop returning to what broke you. You have asked me to change your life, and I am asking you to allow me to change the direction of your steps. My child, This is why I am speaking with urgency, not because I have stopped loving you, but because my love refuses to remain silent when your choices are taking you somewhere I never intended you to go. There is a door in front of you, but before you think only about what is behind that door, I want you to understand what is in your hands. You cannot carry yesterday into every tomorrow and expect tomorrow to feel new. You cannot keep feeding fear and expect peace to rule your heart. You cannot keep listening to every voice around you and expect to recognize mine clearly. You cannot keep asking everyone else what they think while ignoring the conviction I have already placed inside you. My child, I am not calling you to run blindly. I am calling you to become still enough to hear me and courageous enough to obey when you know what I am saying. The enemy would love for you to become so distracted that you never notice the moment of decision. He would love for you to spend another month thinking, another year waiting, another season returning to the same patterns while convincing yourself that you are simply being patient. But there is a difference between patience and delay. There is a difference between waiting for my timing and refusing to move because fear feels safer. There is a difference between seeking wisdom and endlessly searching for permission to do what you already know is right. Say, my soul belongs to you, God, if you hunger for His presence. My child, I have watched you stand at this same crossroads before. I have seen you come close to obedience and then turn away because you were afraid of what obedience might cost you. I saw you when you knew you needed to forgive, but your pain told you to hold on. I saw you when you knew you needed to leave something behind, but your memories pulled you backward. I saw you when you knew you needed to return to prayer, but distraction became easier. I saw you when you knew you needed to stop listening to voices that filled your heart with fear, but you kept going back because you wanted their approval. I saw all of it, and still I called you my child. Still I loved you. Still I waited. But now I am telling you that you cannot keep treating every warning as something you can postpone forever. There comes a moment when listening must become obedience. There comes a moment when knowing must become doing. There comes a moment when you must stop standing outside the door, asking me whether you are ready, and simply trust that I will strengthen you as you walk with me. You not misunderstand my words. I am not telling you that your life will collapse if you do not perform some perfect action at this exact second. I am telling you that your heart must stop resisting the direction I am giving you. My child, I am not trying to trap you with a deadline. I am trying to rescue you from a pattern. I am trying to wake you before you become comfortable with what is slowly destroying your peace. I am trying to turn you around before you become so familiar with the wrong road that you forget there was ever another way. This is why I am calling this a serious moment. You asked me to speak and I am speaking. You asked me to guide you and I am guiding you. You asked me to reveal what you could not see and I am beginning to uncover it. But now you must do your part. You must listen with an open heart. You must stop defending what I am asking you to surrender. You must stop calling disobedience freedom. You must stop calling fear wisdom. You must stop calling attachment love when it continually pulls you away from me. Every video is made with pure love, not a single penny from YouTube. If our work means something to you, your support keeps us going. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us given link in description or pinned comment to show your support. And hear me clearly, my beloved, because this is where I want fear to leave your heart. The warning is not the end of your story. The warning is evidence that I am still calling you. If I wanted you to remain lost, I would not be drawing your attention back to me. If I wanted you to remain trapped, I would not be showing you the chains. If I wanted you to remain in darkness, I would not be placing light on the path in front of you. The fact that you can recognize something needs to change is itself an invitation. Come back to me. Turn your heart toward me. Let me lead you. Let me correct you without running away. Let me touch the places you have protected from everyone, even from yourself. Let me heal what you have hidden. Let me remove what you cannot remove alone. Let me teach you the difference between what looks good and what is good for you. Let me show you that my closed doors are not always punishment, and my open doors are not always permission to do whatever you want. You need my wisdom more than you need another sign. My child, you have asked me for breakthrough, and I have heard you. You have cried over your circumstances, and I have seen you. You have wondered whether your prayers mattered, and I have not forgotten a single sincere prayer you brought before me. But your breakthrough may begin in a place you did not expect. It may begin with one honest surrender. It may begin with one decision to forgive. It may begin with one prayer spoken through tears. It may begin when you finally stop chasing what I told you to release. It may begin when you finally stop fearing the future and place it into my hands. It may begin when you stop asking everyone else to confirm what you have already brought before me in prayer. My child, do not measure my work only by what you can see. I have been working in places you cannot see. I have been preparing things you cannot yet understand. I have been protecting you from things you would have called blessings if I had allowed them to reach you too soon. So, stay with me now. Do not rush away from this moment. Let these words search your heart. I am not asking you to be afraid of tomorrow. I am asking you to stop running from the truth of today. I am not telling you that there is no hope. I am telling you that hope begins when you trust me enough to obey. I am not standing over you with condemnation. I am standing before you with my arms open, calling you back into the path of life. The door is before you, my child. But first, I need you to understand why I have been warning you. I need you to see what you have been ignoring. I need you to recognize what must be released. I need you to understand why this moment matters. Because when you finally see it, you will realize that I was never trying to take your future away from you. I was trying to keep you from walking blindly into the wrong future. My beloved child, this is your moment to become still, to listen, and to let my truth reach the place where your fear has been speaking the loudest. Do not close your heart now. Do not allow distraction to take you away. I have brought you this far, and I am not finished with you. There is still a path ahead. There is still purpose in you. There is still work for me to do in your heart. There is still a door that I am teaching you how to recognize. But before you walk through it, you must hear the warning I have been trying to give you. You must understand what I am asking you to leave behind. You must learn why I allowed certain doors to close and why I did not answer every prayer in the way you demanded. And as you listen to what I am about to tell you next, I want you to remember this one truth above everything else. I am not warning you because I have rejected you. I am warning you because I am calling you closer. I am calling you away from destruction, away from confusion, away from fear, and back into my presence. So listen, my child. Do not look away. The next thing I reveal to you may show you why you have been standing at this crossroads for so long. My beloved child, now that you have heard my warning, I want you to understand why I asked you to stop. I know your life is full of noise. I know there are responsibilities waiting for you, people expecting things from you, questions filling your mind, and situations demanding your attention. I know you have become so used to moving from one thing to another that stillness can almost feel uncomfortable. You wake up thinking about what must be done. You go through your day carrying yesterday's worries. And you lie down at night while your mind continues running through every problem you could not solve. In the middle of all this noise, I have been trying to draw you closer. But you have sometimes mistaken my quiet voice for your own thoughts. You have sometimes felt a conviction in your heart and quickly pushed it away because following it would require you to change something. You have felt the need to pray, but you told yourself that you were too busy. You knew you needed to forgive, but you told yourself that the other person did not deserve it. You knew you needed to let something go, but you kept holding it because you were afraid of what would happen if you released it. You knew there was a direction you needed to take, but you kept asking for another sign because you were afraid to make the decision. My child, I have seen all of this, and I am not condemning you. I am asking you to wake up. I am asking you to stop long enough to recognize what has been happening inside your heart. You have not always been unable to hear me. Sometimes you have heard me clearly, but you were afraid of what obedience would require. My child, do not believe that I only speak when something dramatic happens. I am not limited to thunder, fire, or extraordinary events. I can speak through my word. I can speak through wise counsel. I can speak through a quiet conviction that refuses to leave your heart. I can speak through circumstances that force you to slow down. I can speak through a door that closes when you were certain it would open. I can speak through an unexpected opportunity that appears when you have stopped looking for one. I can speak through the peace that comes when you finally surrender something you have been fighting to control. I can even use an ordinary moment to make you stop and think about a truth you have been avoiding. Do not make the mistake of believing that something must be spectacular before it can be from me. Some of my most important directions come quietly because I want you to learn my voice, not merely chase my signs. You have asked me many times, Lord, show me what to do. But then when I began to lead you through a small conviction, a wise warning, a repeated truth, or a change in circumstances, you wanted something bigger. You wanted the sky to open. You wanted a voice that could not possibly be misunderstood. But my child, if I trained you to follow only spectacular signs, you would never learn how to walk with me in daily faith. I want relationship with you. I want you to know my character so deeply that when I lead you, you recognize the direction because you know the one who is leading you. Look back at some of the moments you thought were meaningless. Remember the opportunity that disappeared and how disappointed you were. Remember the person you wanted to keep in your life, but who suddenly walked away. Remember the plan you believed was perfect only for circumstances to change. Remember the scripture that seemed to appear again and again when you were struggling with the same decision. Remember the quiet thought that came into your heart telling you to stop, wait, pray, forgive, or move forward. Remember the moments when you felt peace after surrendering something, even though nothing around you had changed yet. My child, I am not telling you that every event in your life was a direct message from me, because you must learn discernment and wisdom. But I am telling you that you should not be so quick to dismiss the ways I may be guiding you. Bring them before me, test them against truth, pray about them, seek wise counsel when necessary. Look at the fruit they produce. Do not blindly follow every feeling, but do not blindly ignore every conviction either. There is wisdom in learning to pause. There is wisdom in asking, Lord, what are you teaching me through this? There is wisdom in becoming quiet enough to notice what your heart has been trying to tell you while your mind has been drowning it out with fear. My beloved child, there is another reason I need you to listen now. You have become accustomed to asking me to change your circumstances while refusing to allow me to change you. You have prayed for a new season while keeping the habits of the old season. You have asked me for peace while continuing to feed the thoughts that steal your peace. You have asked me to restore your confidence while constantly listening to people who make you question your worth. You have asked me to open doors while continuing to stand at the same old door because you are afraid to leave what is familiar. My child, I am not saying this to hurt you. I am saying it because you need to see the connection. Sometimes, the thing standing between you and the next step is not the enemy, not another person, not your circumstances, and not even the lack of opportunity. Sometimes it is your unwillingness to release what you already know cannot go with you. You have asked me for something new, but you have continued protecting something old. You have asked me for freedom while keeping one hand around the chain. You have asked me to heal your heart while returning again and again to the place where the wound is reopened. You have asked me to guide you while constantly allowing other voices to speak louder than my truth. My child, this is why I'm asking you to stop. I need you to examine what has been controlling your decisions. Is it faith or is it fear? Is it wisdom or is it the desire to remain comfortable? Are you waiting because I told you to wait? Or are you waiting because you are afraid to move? Are you staying because I told you to stay? Or because you are afraid of what people will say if you leave? Are you holding on because there is still something I am asking you to protect? Or because you cannot imagine life without what you have become attached to? These are not small questions. These questions reach into the deepest places of your heart. You cannot enter a new season while refusing to face the reason you are still standing in the old one. My child, I know the answer may hurt. I know there are things you have built your identity around that I may be asking you to surrender. I know there are relationships, dreams, plans, and expectations that you have carried for a long time. But remember this, I know what you cannot see. I know the road beyond the road. I know what is waiting around the corner. I know what would happen if you kept walking in the direction your fear is choosing for you. That is why sometimes my warning feels uncomfortable. Love does not always tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes love stands in your path and says, "Stop." Type, "Father, you light my path if he has guided you when you were lost. My beloved, do not resent me for the doors I have closed. You have cried over some doors as if your entire future disappeared when they shut. You asked me why I allowed something to leave. You asked why another person did not stay. You asked why the opportunity disappeared. You wondered why the answer did not come when you expected it. But you did not know what I knew. You could only see what was in front of you. I could see what was behind it. There were things you were asking me to give you that would have cost you your peace. There were places you wanted to enter that would have taken you farther from the purpose I placed inside you. There were people you wanted to keep who could not walk with you into the season I was preparing. There were opportunities that looked like blessings, but would have become burdens. You called some of these things losses, but I called them protection. You called some of them delays, but I called them preparation. You called some of them rejection, but I was redirecting you. My child, you must learn to trust me even when my answer does not look like the answer you requested. I want you to understand something else. When I warn you, I am not asking you to become obsessed with fear. I do not want you waking up every morning expecting disaster. I do not want you examining every small event as though you must discover some hidden threat. That is not discernment. That is anxiety. I am calling you into peace, wisdom, and attention. I want you to walk closely enough with me that you can recognize when something is pulling you away from truth. I want you to become sensitive to the difference between conviction and a condemnation. Conviction draws you back toward me. Condemnation tells you to hide from me. Conviction says, this needs to change. Condemnation says, you are hopeless. Conviction gives you a path home. Condemnation tells you that there is no home for you. Never confuse the two. When I correct you, I do not abandon you. When I reveal something wrong in you, I am not revealing it because I hate you. I reveal it because I love you enough to heal it. I reveal the wound so I can touch it. I reveal the chain so I can break it. I reveal the lie so I can replace it with truth. My child, you have spent too much time wondering whether I still care about you. Look at the fact that I am still calling you. Look at the fact that your heart still longs for me. Look at the fact that you still desire direction, peace, truth, and purpose. You may have wandered, but I have not stopped calling your name. You may have delayed, but I have not forgotten you. You may have failed, but your failure did not cancel my love. You may have made wrong choices, but wrong choices do not mean your story is finished. I am still here. I am still speaking. I am still able to redirect you. I am still able to restore what needs restoration. I am still able to teach you what you did not understand before. Do not allow your past mistakes to become an excuse for future disobedience. Do not say, I have already failed too much, so there is no point in trying again. That is not my voice. My mercy is not run dry. There is still a path forward, but you must stop running in circles. So now, my beloved child, I want you to make this moment personal. Do not think about someone else while I am speaking to you. Do not immediately place these words on another person. Let me speak to your own heart. Ask yourself what you have been ignoring. Ask yourself what you already know needs to change. Ask yourself what you have been asking me to remove while secretly holding it tighter. Ask yourself which voice has been influencing you the most. Ask yourself whether fear has been making decisions that should have been made through faith. Ask yourself whether you have been waiting for a sign because you genuinely need wisdom or because you are afraid to obey what you already know. My child, be honest with me. You do not need to impress me. You do not need to pretend that you are stronger than you are. Tell me where you are afraid. Tell me where you are confused. Tell me where you are angry. Tell me what you do not understand. Tell me what you do not want to surrender. I already know, but I want you to bring it into the light. You can't heal what you refuse to acknowledge, and now listen to me carefully. The purpose of this warning is not to leave you standing in fear at the edge of your future. The purpose is to prepare you to walk forward with wisdom. I am not merely telling you what to stop. I am preparing to show you what to start. I am not merely revealing the door you should not enter. I am teaching you how to recognize the door that belongs to the path I am leading you toward. I am not merely telling you that time matters. I am teaching you how to stop wasting the time you have been given. There is still purpose ahead of you. There is still growth ahead of you. There are still prayers that will shape you, lessons that will strengthen you, opportunities that will test your faith, and moments that will reveal how deeply you have learned to trust me. But before you can recognize what is ahead, you must become willing to see what is happening within you now. My child, stay close to me. Do not rush away because one part of this message made you uncomfortable. Do not close your heart because I touched a place you wanted to keep hidden. If I have shown you something, bring it to me. If I have reminded you of someone you need to forgive, bring that wound to me. If I have reminded you of a habit you need to leave, bring that struggle to me. If I have reminded you of a decision you have delayed, bring the decision to me. If I have shown you that fear has been controlling you, bring that fear to me. You do not have to solve everything in one moment. You do have to stop pretending that nothing needs to change. That is the beginning. That is where obedience begins. That is where freedom begins. That is where the door begins to appear differently before your eyes. My beloved child, I brought you here because I do not want you walking blindly into what comes next. I want you to see clearly. I want you to hear carefully. I want you to recognize the difference between my leading and the noise around you. I want you to understand why some doors closed, why some prayers took longer, why some people left, why some plans failed, and why some things you desperately wanted were never placed into your hands. One day, you may look back and understand what you cannot understand today. But you do not have to wait until tomorrow to trust me. You can begin now. You can stop now. You can surrender now. You can listen now. And as you do, I will begin to show you that the warning was never meant to destroy your hope. It was meant to protect it. The door I am preparing you for is not something you need to force open. But before you can walk through the right door, you must finally stop reaching for the wrong one. My beloved child, now I want to speak to you about something that may be difficult for you to admit. But I'm asking you to be honest with me because there is freedom waiting on the other side of your honesty. You have been warned before. You have felt the stirring in your heart before. You have known there were things you needed to change before. There were moments when you knew you needed to stop. Moments when something inside you told you that the path you were taking was not right. Moments when my word brought a truth before your eyes and you knew it was speaking directly into your situation. Yet, you told yourself that you would deal with it later. You said, I will pray tomorrow. I will change tomorrow. I will forgive tomorrow. I will stop tomorrow. I will come back to God when I have everything under control. My child, you have used tomorrow as a hiding place. You have placed decisions there because tomorrow feels safer than today. Tomorrow does not demand anything from you yet. Tomorrow allows you to keep what you are holding while giving yourself the comfort of believing that you will eventually change. But I am calling you out of that pattern now. I am telling you that obedience cannot always remain a promise you make to yourself for some future day. There is a time when you must respond to the truth you already know. There is a time when the heart must stop saying, later, and begin saying, yes, Lord, I hear you. My child, I remember every moment when I tried to get your attention. I remember the night when you could not sleep because your heart was troubled about a decision. I remember the conversation that made you realize something in your life needed to change. I remember the scripture that seemed to speak directly into the place where you were struggling. I remember the person who gave you advice you did not want to hear, but needed to hear. I remember the opportunity that disappeared and left you asking why. I remember the door that closed when you were convinced it should open. I remember the quiet conviction that came when you were about to return to something you had already promised to leave behind. I remember the moments when you felt a deep desire to pray after being away from me. I remember when your heart became restless because you knew that something was not right. I was not trying to make your life difficult. I was trying to get your attention. I was trying to protect you from consequences you could not yet see. I was trying to keep you from walking farther down a road that would become harder to leave. You thought I was disturbing your peace, but I was warning you because the false peace you had accepted was not real peace. You thought I was asking too much, but I was asking you to release something that was already taking more from you than you realized. My beloved child, understand the danger of continually ignoring what you know is true. When you ignore a warning once, you may feel uncomfortable for a while and then return to normal. When you ignore it again, the discomfort may become weaker. When you ignore it again and again, your heart can begin to become familiar with what once troubled you. This is why I have been calling you to listen. I do not want you to become comfortable with something that is slowly pulling you away from me. I do not want you to become so used to compromise that you no longer recognize compromise. I do not want you to call darkness normal simply because you have lived around it for a long time. I do not want you to call bondage freedom simply because you have learned how to live with the chains. My child, repeated disobedience can make the heart less sensitive. What once caused conviction can eventually become something you excuse. What once made you uncomfortable can eventually become something you defend. What once made you say, "I need to change," can eventually become something you say, "This is just who I am." But I did not create you to be ruled by your old patterns. And if these Bible-centered messages have encouraged your walk with Christ, we invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs biblical hope today. If this ministry has blessed your life, and you would like to help us continue sharing scripture-centered encouragement around the world, you can support the ministry through the link provided below. I did not create you to surrender your future to the habits of your past. I did not create you to spend your life explaining why you cannot become free. I created you to walk in truth, to live in my light, and to know the freedom that comes from belonging to me. My child, the enemy understands something about delay. He knows that he does not always have to convince you to completely reject me. Sometimes he only needs to convince you to postpone your obedience. He does not always need you to say, "No, Lord." Sometimes all he needs is for you to say, "Not yet." He will tell you that you have plenty of time. He will tell you that you can fix things later. He will tell you that one more compromise will not matter. He will tell you that one more return to the same place will not hurt you. He will tell you that you can keep the habit and still remain close to me. He will tell you that you can continue listening to voices that weaken your faith and still expect your heart to remain strong. He will tell you that you can keep feeding fear and somehow live in peace. My child, do not believe every thought simply because it sounds reasonable. Deception rarely arrives looking dangerous. It often arrives sounding comfortable. It says, "You can wait." It says, "This is not serious." It says, "You can deal with it later." It says, "Everyone does this." It says, "You deserve this." It says, "You do not have to change." It says, "You can come back to God whenever you want." And while you keep listening, the distance between you and obedience becomes greater without you even noticing. Say, "I belong to you alone, Jesus," if you've given him your future. And share this video